Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
Hey, away we go. Welcome to show number 2,853. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Woman Fox, and my cock. And you are in the men's room. On tap today, Ryan Castle's The Drunken Charge is into Sit and Spin. Today we get the 10 saddest songs in Disney movies. What you don't need to know finds out if you are cheap or frugal. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shut up today, funnable listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted. Clack, clack. You're getting drunk. All right, here we go as we head down under, where $91 million worth of meth is found on a ship named Mega Prophet 2. Bang. To Montana, where X forces man to have sex with machete, and there was nothing that the guy could do. Indiana teen killed in freak accident, ironically involving the game of Who's Your Fame. A man clings to roof of a car at 70 miles per hour as his girlfriend is insane. And the NFL officially recognizes that they don't recognize doctors. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, we talked about this yesterday, but there's so much cocaine in some European rivers that eels are feeling the effects. Tests show that the coke causes them to suffer issues, including damaged muscles, impaired gills, giving up on migration, and, of course, throwing killer parties. In the Puget Sound, mussels, they're ingesting copious amounts of opiates, just like their human counterparts. In New Jersey, several beaches had to be closed because of the high level of fecal bacteria in the water. In Kentucky, this is a weird one. A distillery is facing fines after a warehouse collapsed. That led to bourbon leaking into public waterways, which ended up killing hundreds of fish. Fish, it seems, cannot hold their liquor. And in waters off the coast of Australia, a fisherman accidentally caught an unidentified thing, for lack of a better word. It basically looks like a 6-legged piece of fried chicken. That is, honest to God, the best description we have. Seems like there's always something in the water. Horror movies have made a killing on that premise. And they can be anything from a great white shark and the Loch Ness Monster to the more disturbing my grandmother's dentures floating in a glass of water as bloated chunks of old meals floated up to the surface. I can't begin to tell you what kind of imprint that made on my 6-year-old head. And to this day, I maintain it's the worst thing I've seen in the water. But here's the thing about the water, man. It doesn't matter if you go to the public pool, somebody pees in it, somebody poops in it. You hop in the ocean, you see something weird, something bites you. We don't know, but today, this is what we want you to answer. What was on or in the water?
Be part of the big show. Call 844-999-OLA. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, but y'all, away we go. Welcome to show number 2,853 with a large in charge program we have for you today. Big show, Ryan Castle, the Drunken Charge. He is into Sit and Spin, and today we get the 10 saddest songs in Disney movies. These are animated Disney movies, and these songs apparently have, somehow escaped the scrutiny, or maybe have just been under the radar enough where, from a lyrical standpoint, you don't really realize how messed up some of these songs are.
Well, it's like anything. You take there's the 80s band Men at Work, right? Real upbeat, real poppy, real campy. And then you read the lyrics and realize this is remarkably depressing. So I think, like with Disney, The only people that really care about the songs of Disney are the kids.
Yeah.
And the kids just sing the words without really thinking about what they're saying. Kind of like we did. We grew up and we would sing like all these heavy sexual innuendos. We just had no idea. And then you get older and go, oh, my God. But Mike Hawk walked into the office earlier and said, man, I'm telling you, now that he was familiar with all of these, right? And he's a man who appreciates this kind of thing, but he said, I never realized exactly how sad these goddamn songs are.
You had to take a moment. You were verklempt. Is that what they call that?
I believe that is the word.
You were speaking Hebrew earlier, Robin. I think it's verklempt. Is Mike? What exactly happened there?
I had a moment, man.
Why?
I was brought back to my childhood, and I knew that they were all singing. And as I listened to these songs and was going back through, I finally was able to take in what exactly they were saying and what they were singing about and what was giving them so much pain. You know, back when I was just a kid, it was just watching them go through this hardship. It's like, you know what? Yeah, they're having a hardship, but now I can feel it. Now I know what it is.
Feel it. It shouldn't be a mystery, I guess, if you watch Disney movies to think
slaughter the parents, and then you root for the kid. That is the Disney formula, right?
But it's true. There's some
look at that cute parent.
Sad stuff going on there.
Look at that parent.
Today,
look at this parent.
We're going to break them down for you with the 10 saddest songs at Disney movies. We also have a What You Don't Need to Know coming up, and that's going to find out if you're cheap or you're frugal. There is a difference, believe it or not, and they did a survey to determine some of your actions. Does that make you just cheap in general, or are you just honestly trying to do the right thing, save a buck, and be frugal? So that's coming up with What You Don't Need to Know right before the shot of the day. And our question today, what was on or in the water? We start with breaking news here, and this comes our way out of Lover's Key, which is right south of Bonita Springs, Florida, which is right near Naples. A rare alligator has been sighted today at the island. Believe it or not, a 5-foot alligator you can see swimming along the beach in the actual ocean there.
Why
the
is
Gulf
that
of Mexico.
rare in Florida?
Because normally they don't take to the saltwater. For whatever
reason. Do they
reason.
know that, or do we say that? That's always my stance with animal. Like, did the animal tell you that, or are you telling me that that's what the animal thinks?
I guess they just don't see him there.
Years of watching him, like they
That's not where they
go.
That's
not what they do.
Right. So this is abnormal
that
behavior.
One does.
Yeah, he does. And we know one thing
I'm saying, man.
about crocodiles. They love swimming in the ocean.
Saltwater crocs
Sure
do,
they
yeah.
do. But, that's
right. I mean, right. They even call them saltwater crocs.
Yeah.
A rare alligator sighting today at the island. That according to Jessica DeGraw, who owns Island Time Dolphin and Shelling Cruises. She said she spotted it the morning. It's kind of crazy to see an alligator in the saltwater. Sometimes they get exhausted, so they lay on the beach to take a break before they head over to the river. But they warned onlookers and beachgoers to stay away from it. Any wild animal, even a dolphin, could be dangerous.
Yeah, it's a wild animal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have this story here. A warning has been issued after snakes were found inside a pool in a noodle in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. The pool noodle, man.
Yes. We're told
Not
that the family...
pool noodle.
The family was getting ready to take a dip. They grabbed 2 noodles that were up against the wall. That's when a big snake popped out of one of them, and they found several babies inside. There are fast-moving fellow residents in the valley making their way through the desert and sometimes into backyards to study. Oh, my goodness, they're in the pool. Holy cow. So who did they call? You're not going to believe who they called.
The exterminator.
No.
Dominoes. I don't know.
They've got it. Okay. So, all right. I've got a bunch of, let's just assume that I've got a place, right?
All right.
And I've got rattlesnakes.
Mm-hmm.
I've got rattlesnakes, Ted, and I need someone to come and take care of my rattlesnakes.
Animal control?
I call it Rattlesnake Solutions.
Oh, well,
Rattlesnake
if it's
Solutions.
right there, yeah.
Just like when you have Pet Solutions?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Rattlesnake. This is Rattlesnake Solutions. First time, though, that they've ever seen a snake inside of a pool noodle. He says,
right, because snakes aren't normally in pool noodles, but the snakes didn't know that. And then these things happen. And some people are surprised, and some of us go, right.
He says they're dehydrated, they haven't had a meal, and there's a damp pool noodle in a dry desert. If I was a snake and I was dehydrated, I'd go into a pool noodle, too.
I'd go in the pool. But, whatever.
Yeah. Anything that a snake or a rodent or a big thing can hide under, try to eliminate it. They say if you're worried about that, try to keep everything neat and tidy. They have said you should also keep your pool toys up high in the garage or in a closable plastic container if you would like to avoid snakes slithering in your toys outside.
I mean, pools are so dangerous for children to start with. Yeah. All the precaution, you try to be careful about it. I just would never think to we got to get the noodles out of here. There's going to be baby snakes in it.
I wouldn't think the noodles. I would assume there's bugs, probably not snakes. But even with pools, right? Because back to the gator. They don't like salt water. They don't like chlorine either. Mm-hmm. And guess where they go? So again, if the animal didn't tell you that, I don't necessarily believe a whole lot that people say. If they'll sit there in your pool, I'm like, it's full of chlorine.
I know enough about
And
a pool.
they don't mind being in there. So I don't think they mind salt water. The pool, it doesn't matter. They like water.
If you've ever opened a pool before and you've taken the tarp off and you've done the whole cleaning process,
that's always a surprise.
and you've gone through the filters, I mean, you know that's something is you're going to find something. You don't know what it's going to be.
You're going to find a lot of something.
You're going to find something though that's going to be like one of those things like wow, and I mean it might be like the most giant bug that you've never seen before in your entire life. More than likely, it'll be something dead that's crawled up into one of the filters.
The biggest snake I've ever seen in my life was when I was a landscaper and we had to take down a pool and fill it in with like dirt. And we took off that cover and it had to be like an 8-foot snake slithering around.
It's because the covers keep things warm. So even though
I mean, I get why he was in there. I'm just saying, like, you open up that cover.
So we want to know whether it was in the water, on the water, what was on or in the water. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Monica. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
Hey, guys. So kind of the perfect question. I actually talked to you guys a few months ago about, you had a question about what is abnormal about your body, and I'm the lifeguard who had really big boobs. So,
Okay, sweet.
You should have been on Baywatch.
Right.
They told me to call back and everything, and this is kind of the perfect thing. So I'm a lifeguard and a swim instructor, so I've seen a lot of crazy things in the water. But recently, back in October, at the pool I was working at, they had this big Halloween event that we did for the kids. You know, we put up like this big inflatable obstacle course and all this stuff, and it's supposed to be 2.5 hours. And an hour in, somebody pooped in the pool.
Just an hour in.
Just an hour in, out of a 2.5 hour long event. Hour in, somebody poops in the pool.
Okay.
And we have an area where the kids can go if they don't know how to swim and they have to stay with their parents and stuff. And then we have an area for the kids who do know how to swim. And this was over in that area with the kids who do know how to swim. So this isn't like a little toddler poo floating around in the pool. Right?
Is this a substantial size log? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it diarrhea? How do you know? Is there a cloud or is it hard?
So I was on one side of the pool and I have a couple of these swim team kids come up and they're like, "Hey, I think someone pooped in the pool." And so I was like, "Oh no!" So I look over there and I'm hoping it's just like mud or something like that.
Yeah, just random mud.
It is a full human-sized log, and it is a sinker.
Sinker.
So what do you just scoop it out with a net?
We had to shut down the pool. We had to clear everything out. We couldn't finish the event because we have to wait an hour after this happens and we get everything out, and then we have to put more chlorine in the pool to shock it and everything, and then nobody can get in for another hour.
Well, wait, do you tell people why the events come to a close? Say, hey, man, one of you guys pooped in the pool, so we got to shut this down, or you just say there's something wrong with the pool?
Basically, we usually tell them it's a chemical issue.
Oh, no. See, that's the nice way of going about it. Okay, like, you know how you come home and, like, the dog has pooped in the floor or the dog has gotten into something or ripped something up and you look at him and you go like, Chewy, did you tear into that pillow? And they have that look in their eyes like, oh, God. See, you got to go up to every person in the party and just kind of look at them in the eyes, and you'll find the person I believe.
You'll know.
You'll know exactly. All you got to do is just make eye contact, you know what I mean? And someone will be like that dog in the corner who knows they pooped in the living room. You know, they'll have that look.
And trust me, man, just because the log was huge does not mean it was an adult. My daughter's 7.5 and apparently is the ass of a trucker.
Because she was backed up.
Dude, even when she's not backed up, like if she just has a normal poop, like she lays it down, brother. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, which is amazing because all she eats are berries. You know what I mean?
What, man? You should, when she gets married or her first boyfriend, you should.
First thing I'm going to bring up?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let me tell you something. You
ever seen her poop? God damn, buddy.
You should go in
Good
there
luck.
sometime. Man, oh, man, try to beat that. Right. My money's on her every time.
I do like that they say it's just chemical problem in the pool, though.
Well, that's not. No, you know why? Because, okay, look, you knew we were coming. We've had this thing. Okay, let's just say that I booked this thing. All right. Now we're an hour in, and all of a sudden someone comes over and goes, "Hey, sorry, man, we're gonna have to shut this thing down for the last hour." Why? There's a chemical problem in the pool. Well, we had this thing booked like 2 months ago, so you knew people were coming. This is your facility. This is how you make money renting this out. How would you not have it ready for?
Right now, you're angry as a customer.
Exactly. Like we came to this. I'm sorry, we don't have any food. Well, then why are you open? Why are you a restaurant? Like, well, we just anticipated that no one would want to eat tonight.
But if I'm the restaurant, I'd rather tell you that we ran out of food than say we got a serious rat problem. Because you're never coming back. If somebody poops in that pool, like I'd rather just
all they
be blind.
They gotta say like one of your kids pooped in the pool.
But the only difference is you didn't bring the rats to the restaurant,
right, exactly.
So I don't want to tell you have a rat problem. Like, look, if you guys showed up for the event, and I'm like, we have to cancel the event before it starts because someone pooped in the pool. That means one of us employees
pooped in the
pool, and I would not tell you that. But once the party's going on, like, look, man, one of you, maybe two of you, I don't know, but somebody released into the pool.
And you can't.
This is not our fault.
We're going to have to ask you to leave because you can't be in here. It's like pooping on the table at the restaurant. Like, I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
Not here.
Right. Although, to be fair, if my restaurant stayed open and I didn't let anyone sit at the table, I would not tell them, well, look.
What?
Before you got here, someone defecated on the table.
God. You know, like,
I would say the legs are broken.
Right. And there's nothing worse. I'll tell you what, if you ever go to a public swimming area and there is a big pool for adults, it's a living-size pool, whatever, there's always a smaller kiddie pool. And that kiddie pool is normally a foot to a foot and a half, and you'll see all the very young kids in there, and most of them are wearing swimmies or whatever they have on.
Sure.
But the parents are always sitting at the edge of the pool. They're in it, they're sitting in it, whatever. Like, there's no bigger public urine tank.
Sure.
Anywhere else than that thing right there, man. I mean, because it's just kids. Little teeny tiny kids get in there, and you know that feeling when you're in water for the first time. It's like,
kids or adults. And look, man, you told me you were in your apartment pool with your kids and they're much younger. Your kid had to pee. You just started doing the pool, and if it wasn't for her basically calling you out at the top of your lungs in front of her. So it's like even parents are like, dude, just pee in the pool. Just pee in the pool.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do it, right? Like, I'm going to. You might as well, too.
What was on or in the water? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
How you doing?
Hola.
Hola. Oh, I'm online?
Yes.
Oh, my God, it's you, Mike.
Hey, this is Mike from Troma.
Oh, we knew that.
Well, welcome to the show.
Okay.
You guys were talking about what was in the water.
Yes, we were, Mike.
I was an ex-Marine. I was down in Panama training, and we rented a boat with water skis, and we're out water skiing out in Gaton Lake, which is the eastern starboard, the entrance to the Panama Canal itself. And as we're skiing, we're like a bunch of drunk Marines are trying to dump people off. And we get to a point, and you see this landfill that's just flowing into the water. So at this point, I'm going, no, keep going. Like, the water's 10, 12 feet deep. It's just nothing but trash, like 2 inches underneath the water. And you were not trying to get dumped into the water.
Were they trying to dump you in there on purpose, though?
Well, we were elsewhere. You know, we're drinking a lot of beer, 4 Marines in a small boat with water skis. So we were trying to dump each other, make each other wreck. But once we got to that part, it's like, no, keep going. Don't dump me in this water. It was disgusting.
Was it supposed to be dumping into the river, or was there a breach?
Just a whole landfill that it worked its way into the water in a little cove.
Yeah, that's
it's like it's a huge lake with little coves on it. So the whole entrance where the big ships come in and wait to go through the canal itself.
Did you ever get dumped in it?
We did further out. We were out touching the boats, running up next to the big ocean ships, and drinking too much beer.
Back to the beer. Back to the beer.
This sounds like a lot of beer.
Yeah. Well, Marines. We had 2 days off after 30 days training.
What kind of beer do you get in the Panama Canal?
We were getting Rainier beer right out of. They had beer machines in the barracks, like a quarter for a beer after work.
A quarter for a beer?
Yep.
Hell, man.
You'd get by a 6-pack and take it in the movie theater on base.
What do you do now?
Drywall, construction worker.
Okay, all right.
That's a recovering alcoholic.
Exactly.
Dude, I've been to a couple weddings on military bases, right? So I'm not in the military, so you could just kind of, if you're there for the wedding, you can kind of go into the officers club. It is so cheap.
All right.
It's unbelievable.
What do you mean, as far as the price of everything?
Yes.
How cheap?
I just remember going in there with my buddy's sister, and we were going to get a drink. And then they told us the price, and we had like 4 shooters and like 3 beers.
Right.
And missed like half the reception.
Perfect. What was on or in the water? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
How you guys doing? It's an honor.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Mine was what was under the water, not in the water, on top of the water.
All right.
That's how you word it. When I was younger, up here in Washington, I went to summer camp. And all camps have a lake. So one of the days we went night kayaking. And everyone else wanted to go out in the middle of the lake. I was like, no, I'm good. I just got my little kayak and I stayed close to the border, closer to land. I don't like open water.
Okay.
And so I'm chilling next to that marsh land with the cattails and those look like hay and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm just looking at the moon. That's the only light that's out. And I start hearing like a ripple sound, like swimming sound. I was like, no one's around me, so it's kind of weird. And all of a sudden I look to my right and I see, have you ever stood in a pool of water and got your hand and moved it and with enough force just below the surface and you could see how it bubbles over
Sure.
on the top?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't see what it was, but something small with enough force, swimming power, was swimming right next to me, causing that thing. I was just staring at that ripple, the bulge across the water, and it creeped me out because, what? No fish has that enough power. There's no creature in there, at least I don't hope, and it just creeped me out.
Probably a
I
beaver.
wanted to hit it with my oar, but I was scared it was going to be some kind of creature that was going to pop out or something.
So it's about
So you don't even know
water
you don't even know it was a
No.
frog? No.
Doesn't matter. I would get out of the water.
What was on or in the water? 844-999-OLA. More your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
A pair of gay male swans have been taken to animal service after attacking several people at an Austrian lake. True story. The swans were apparently protecting their nest, which, as opposed to having an actual egg in it, had a plastic cup.
Two
Apparently,
swans, one cup.
the aggressive behavior started last summer. They became even more belligerent, according to Franz
Steinager,
mayor of
Stein what?
Franz.
That is why Miles stopped.
Stein.
Steinager.
How'd you say that?
Steinager.
Steiniger.
There you go.
Thank you. Dirty German. Franz Steiniger, yes. The pair have attacked everything that came their way, both on the shore and in the water. They have thrown themselves on swimmers trying to submerge them. Some
Damn.
bathers even suffered cuts that required hospital treatment. Mayor Steiniger resisted calls to euthanize the angry birds, initially opting instead to call in wildlife experts to remove the swans. Swans, they say, are widely regarded as monogamous, although live science reports that they have been known to cheat on each other and even abandon their partners.
So that would not be monogamous then. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So then they go on to the homosexual realm. It doesn't really matter. They're a pair of swans that attack people.
And they like their cup.
And they like their
They're trying
one
to
cup.
drown people. It's like one thing if a swan or a goose is going to peck at you or any of that. You kind of expect that. But I would be a little taken aback of this son of a bitch jumped on me with the express purpose of trying to drown me underwater.
Yeah, just know if it's a mother and there's children around, it doesn't matter if you're in the water, out of the water, whatever. There's a pretty good chance that you could be attacked.
Or what the creature is.
What you could be in a Chuck E. Cheese. What was on or in the water? 844-999-OLA. Don't forget Ryan Castle, the drunken charge, is coming in to sit and spin. And today we're going to get the 10 saddest songs in Disney movies. And you say, what are you talking about? There's no sad songs in Disney movies. Oh, there's some dark, dark stuff in there. Trust me, Ryan's coming up with sit and spin. Our question, what was on or in the water? 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.